Guruji, everybody knows you as the CEO of Art of Living, as a global leader, as our guru. Uh, but I want to, ask you a few questions this time as an entrepreneur. You're someone who has started up, and that's something that everybody who's watching this program wants to do. You're someone who started an organization from thin air, and if you allow me, just wanted to understand how this journey was and what can we learn from your incredible journey as an entrepreneur guru, and where it, what you took your idea to. So, if I have your permission, Guruji.
Yes, it was a very eventful and very interesting journey all the way through. When I started Art of Living, I started with taking the responsibility of a school, a sinking school, which had no funds. Things are promised to kids, and then they were not fulfilled, and the children were left without any teacher or place to stay or education, nothing. So I had to take up that school, which was sick, and people wondered, how you can do this, You have never gone to anybody to ask any money. We have never done that. You have never, had any experience of running a school. Right. But then I said, no, I had to do this. Right. Then things kept falling in place all by itself. People came forward to help the school grow. And then the courses I started teaching, very first course I taught, there were 8 doctors and some engineers in Shimoga. In fact, I never intended to start a big organization. I just wanted to share what I knew.
That's what all entrepreneurs say, Guruji, but then it becomes so big that they...
Yeah. So I used to travel in villages because I had been abroad and all the places. I wanted to do something for our villages. So my passion was going to village, sleeping on the floor there at homes and talking to people, being with people and meditating and teaching them meditation.
So Guruji, if I just take back a little bit, we know your background. You're a science guy. You know everything. Why entrepreneurs do the unusual? You started this whole concept of, or you entered this realm of spirituality. So why did you do something so unusual? You could have been a nice tech guy, earning a lot of money, traveling everywhere.
No, this was not simply, it was not my cup of tea. I was always feeling I had come to do some work and which I had to do. There was a calling to do what was needed. And unfortunately, I had seen enough wealth and fame when I was with the Maharshi's movement. So in my teens, I went, all my young age, I spent with elderly people.
Right.
And it was such a wonderful thing to be with Ma Anand Mahima and Maharshi Mahesh Yogi ji and my teacher Sudhakar Chaturvedi. All their wisdom of, simplicity, broad vision was so beautiful to be with. So my younger days were all with some great poets, some great entrepreneurs, and very dedicated people, dedicated for social cause. So when we started in a very small way. And went to village after village. Then I wanted to create and share this with many teachers, but people said, "Oh, this knowledge, no, we cannot do it. We cannot teach like you." I said, "Why not? You can. Come on." So then I started training teachers.
Right. Awesome. So Guruji, that's exactly, we all know the story of the viewers don't know, they will find out the famous story of the train and the one train going to north and one train going to the south. And that represents in entrepreneurial life one very critical decision where there is nobody to tell you what to do. There's something intuitive, something from God. Guruji, how do you make that decision? How do these people make that one critical decision that can change their life?
In Maharshi Mahesh Yogi's transcendental moment, they very much wanted me to be there. They very much wanted me to be there, and I had all comforts. I had everything I need. I had seen enough wealth, gone around. On one hand, stick there, be in your comfort zone. Another hand, you really come out and do something which is needed, much more needed in the society, you know, on the service aspect, social aspect, on the spiritual aspect. So I had this, either just stay where you are, be in your comfort zone. I had nothing, I didn't lack anything. I had seen all, yeah, everything. So either be in that comfort zone or just come out and do what is essential. Then I chose to come out and do it.
So, Guruji, all these new organizations, the big startups that have succeeded, have said that the first 5 or 7, they call them employees, or first team members, they are the people who make or break a company. The first 5, 10. Now, what did you do to get people who could understand what you were doing?
No, I did not base my thing on anybody, any people as such, or volunteers as such. I have totally based it on knowledge,
Wow.
on the wisdom. And so there is one power that's going to take you through. You know, like that Rabindranath Tagore's, there is a song, Ekla Chalore, walk, walk, walk alone. So that Ekla Chalore was the thing that was all the time ringing. So moving with passion and dispassion together.
Right, right.
Total dispassion, because you don't want anything for yourself. We have seen everything. And I was so lucky to see all that someone would have aspired to see in their 20s and 30s and 40s, right in my teenage. So enough praise, adulation, or talents, all that thing I had seen. So now that the time was only for caring and contributing. And when you go with that one idea, I want nothing for myself, I just want to contribute to this world, to the society. And then the path opens up.
So Guruji, we've understood from your side, but I was telling someone that on Mondays people are always crying in organizations, on Tuesdays they are frowning. And as the week goes by, now in Art of Living everybody is smiling. Every time, whether it's Monday or Tuesday.
Monday we start with meditation, we start with puja.
So how does, I know your cause Guruji, but how do so many thousands of them, 700, 800 people in the ashram, how do they smile?
That's the power of knowledge. That's the power of spiritual knowledge. It's the spiritual knowledge that gives you centeredness, that recuperates your energy in no time, that keeps your enthusiasm, and brings the much needed passion in work and dispassion in meditation.
Nice. Right. So, Guruji, now, as you started up, I'm sure a lot of people may not realize or might not even dare to ask you, but I'm sure there were failures, there were hiccups, there were problems, there were these, like good entrepreneurs, we all try many things and many of them fail. Can you share something that, was so unnerving? I know not unnerving, you are never unnerved, Guruji, but for us, we get very unnerved very fast. To kind of present what happens in such moments, and it happens to everybody.
One instance would be, I was invited those days in the Vatican.
Oh, wow, okay.
By the priest training college, to teach people there.
Right.
So I went and taught, but this knowledge was so powerful. Then the rector came and told me, our people are forgetting what we are teaching. They're all moving to
Oh my God.
And you look little bit like our master. So we would request you, you personally don't come, but you train one of our people.
Oh my God. Okay.
I said, okay. And trained one of their teachers. I said, okay, you continue. This one thing happened. And then there was in Italy, there was a drug addicts camp.
Okay.
People who are coming out of drug addiction. De-addiction center.
Yes. Rehabilitation, right.
De-addiction, rehabilitation. And when I went there, because, there they were keeping those people out of fear. Our world out there is out to get you. They are bad people. Right. So the head of that center was holding these 50, 60 people there with fear. So when I went there and I taught the people, and there was such a big transformation happening. They had tears in their eyes. They said they found a new way to look at life. And the head got so paranoid. The one who praised us and invited, in the third day he started complaining about us and said this is not a good thing because it's people are having no more fear because they all came out and said I have no more fear. I want to lead a life which is all inclusive.
You liberated them, and the person who had captured them felt
He
threatened.
was so threatened. And same thing happened. There was an ashram in London. They begged me to come and stay with them. Those days I just traveled with one of my assistants.
I wish that was true now. We could catch you more easily.
So I said, okay. Then I told all my other Western friends, their people, so I'm going to stay with them in their ashram. So I said goodbye to them. So they went on holiday. So when I went and stayed there, and the third day that person got so frightened because he thought everybody is coming to me instead of whatever. So the gentleman said, no, you have to, please, I'm sorry, you have to leave now. We had only $6 in our pocket. And it was a cold winter. And my assistant was nervous. He said, what do we do? What do we do now? I said, don't worry, just keep quiet. Let's relax. At that time, someone else came there, and a Punjabi gentleman said, please, I request you, would you like to come and stay in our house? Any time this week. I said, okay, I'll come today itself.
Right. Fantastic.
So I had, nature brings support to you. When your intentions are very pure, clear, and nature will, in an unimaginable way, help you to move forward.
Great. So, Guruji, entrepreneurship and spirituality, we have a common problem. Now, a lot of our family members are very, very cagey. They sometimes get very nervous when a lot of, the young boys and girls say, okay, we're going to start up. We're not going to do. Statistically, now almost 4 out of 5 or 4 or 5 people out of 10 in IIM, IIT want to start up. And I know a lot of people.
You should do that. When we first started our prison program in America, in Boston, they just gave us a 10 by 6 small cell, 10 by 15 maybe, small cell, with 8 people sitting there. Very small window, a dusty place, to do our Sudarshan Kriya. Because in those days, 30 years ago, there was so much prejudice against India. And it had happened that many people from India, they simply exploited people. And so there was a lot of prejudice against India. What would someone from India come and teach us? They have nothing, sort of attitude. But when we first started the course, and that became a breakthrough in the life of those prisoners, then the prison authority said, we have seen a miracle in these people's life. So then they gave the next one. Then they allowed. Then they even gave us a grant to teach 3,000 people somewhere else. So wherever there is sincerity and talents, people do recognize them. It may take some time. We simply have to have patience and hold on to our passion.
Right. Guruji, that's exactly the problem that we have today. This patience and time. Everybody wants to grow a rose garden in one day. And you talked about 30 years. So perseverance. A lot of young people think starting up is instant money. Facebook guy started up, in 3 years he became very rich. Instagram started up. Nobody realizes the value of time and effort. So what is your advice, Guruji, to these young startup who think that, in 5 years, if they did not do anything, they've
should not be feverish about it. See, when we are too feverish about success, what happens? We take to wrong means, wrong methods. It's not difficult to climb the ladder. By hook or crook, you can climb the ladder. But remember, you will fall that fast also. You'll come down even faster than when you have climbed.
Right.
That's why it's absolutely essential to be patient.
Right.
And you sow a seed and let it grow.
Nice. Right.
And this is where all that you need, that inner strength you need. You have to look in.
Right. Right.
And every moment you have to look in, every step you are taking, am I doing the right thing or not? Is it beneficial for others or not?
Sure.
And if we simply sit and keep thinking about ourselves, what about me, what about me, what about me, it drains your energy. That's when you miss out on ideas, getting new ideas.
Right.
You miss out on a lot of opportunity because you are self-centered, self-centric.
Right.
But if your goal is clear, your aim is clear, and you have the patience to move in that direction,
Right.
nature will support you.
Great, Guruji. Guruji, on the power of intuition, a lot of us who are trying new businesses have never done that. Nobody has done that before. No one has got a way to say, this is the way it's done. And very often, entrepreneurs express it like gut feel. How do we cultivate intuition, Guruji? How do we make it a science? How do we draw on intuition?
That's what is all about spirituality. Spirituality is that taking that inner rest, a restful alertness of mind causes that. So meditation, very important. And seeing life from a broader context. Then you will not be so feverish about doing something. You will let things unfold. You cannot force a flower to blossom. You should simply let it be there. It will start blossoming. So same with, and here again, let it be means it's not inaction. Okay, let things happen the way it happened. People take it to the other extreme.
Yes.
Either they are so complacent, they don't do anything,
Yes.
or they are too feverish. You need that middle path.
Gurudev, a lot of us, when we start getting into the depth of our business, and 99% of the time it's very hard. Success doesn't come at all, and especially for startups. And then we start comparing ourselves. Oh, I wish I was like that guy. Oh, I wish I had that funding. And a bit of jealousy creeps in. So comparing yourself and jealousy then begins to dominate a lot of our minds. And it becomes very closely.
It's because simply you don't recognize your uniqueness.
Wow. Yes.
In this creation, everyone is unique. No two thumbprints match. Nature has made us like that. Nature has made us very unique. If we recognize and we honor our uniqueness, there is no jealousy, there is no competition. And when you know you are here only to contribute, then how can there be more jealousy? Jealousy is there when you want to possess things. And here, this is here the spiritual knowledge becomes so relevant. It helps you to overcome all these negative tendencies, number one. Second, it improves your intuitive ability, innovative ability, and then communication. It improves one's communication.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is what is, in quote unquote, in the modern entrepreneur language. Innovation,
Yes.
intuition, and sustenance.
Yes, yes. Guruji, now let's little bit on the whole art of living. One question that I get a lot, I read a lot, and I also do my own analysis: the business model. Now, if I wrote a blog once that if Guruji were to price everything he gave at market price, you would be a Fortune 500 company. We'd be on the top of the list and be competing. Guruji, it's almost free. Everything we get is for free. So how do you create this unbelievable business model of giving away the most wealthiest things for free and still making this organization run?
Because I don't know marketing. I never thought about it. I don't know. Simply, I don't know. In fact, I say we are very bad in marketing. Because we have done some of the biggest mega events.
Yes.
We have done 1,100 people playing sitar on one stage, which was never done before.
Correct.
And we have done 30 pianos playing in one stage, 330 bagpiper. We have about 10 different cultural programs, which are all in Guinness book.
Yes.
But we have not we don't know how to market them. Not many people even know about it.
Yes.
So, we have not made any effort in that.
Yes.
So, that could maybe our weakness.
But
But the way the art of living has grown by word of mouth, mainly
Yes,
through word
right.
of mouth, and the product speaks for itself.
that just the product point, Guruji. I'm so happy you brought it up. Now, I make apps. A lot of people in the entrepreneur market now look at the world market, right? We just make an app, but we are not supposed to restrict it to India. You have made a product, which of course is very popular in India, but it's equally popular everywhere. I read a book recently, I read an article where someone said that she was sitting in New Zealand airport and it was a very quiet airport and suddenly someone saw her reading a book which had your face on it. And he said, "Oh, so you're from Art of Living." And this was in New Zealand. How do you make a global product so fast and so popular?
Everybody is breathing, and everybody want to be happy.
Incredible. So look at what everybody.
Everyone wants to be in love, wants to be happy, wants to be peaceful,
Right.
and they all breathe. And we just teach them how they can put all these things that they already have in them. I still feel it has not become as popular as a cell phone.
It has not yet, Guru.
Not yet as popular as cell phone. See, cell phone is very useful because it helps in communication. In the same way, meditation is even more useful because it helps your communication with yourself and with the universe as such. So, this is also a great communication device.
Fantastic.
And it's still there is a long way to go to that.
Guruji, on failing, a lot of us, especially in India, are from the very childhood are taught not to fail. Our parents keep drilling us to do maximum, and entrepreneurs become very very defensive.
I know you asked me this question earlier also, and I tell you, one of the failure thing was when I tried to stop this war in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
I made effort to reach out to LTT and Prabhakaran. I flew all the way there
Oh my God. Okay.
and spoke to some of the people. See this, your just military power is not going to help you out.
Yes.
Try to bring sense into their mind.
Right.
And then on the other side, I also spoke to the president of Sri Lanka and asked him, So, though I tried a lot, we went there several times, and one of our Swamis was working there. Today we have 2 orphanages in Sri Lanka. Somehow the prejudice against someone wearing this dress or how we look, how we are, or saying, oh, this is a Hindu or a religious side, this has had its toll
I see.
on this sort of, I would say,
Effort.
for our effort to be not to be 100% successful.
So you just.
Same way we tried to our Iraq also.
Yes.
We tried to bring
Right.
peace when Iraq, Saddam Hussein was still alive.
Wow. Okay.
Tried to bring sense into them. But there was no backing for us from the government side also.
Right.
If we had, I always felt that if we had a little backing from the government,
Right.
we could have done a lot more peace work.
Nice. Okay.
Just all that we needed was a simple recognition from our government. Okay, this NGO is doing peace work,
Right.
and let's involve them. This is what is called, one is hard power, another is soft power.
Yes.
This is a soft power which our country failed to utilize. In fact, they did contrary. They tried to stop whatever we could
Yes.
do so that we don't get the credit for that. That was so unfortunate. This is what we need to drill into our mindset of our bureaucrats and our politicians. They should utilize India's soft power to bridge people, to bring peace in the world, to resolve conflict. We could offer a lot to the world.
Right.
And that's a great failure on the part of our society. once in one of the South American country, they gave me the highest honor of the country.
Yes.
And our ambassador refused to come to the function.
Oh
He
my
says,
God.
this is a religious function. I mean, this is a religious person. We cannot come.
Oh.
This has happened couple of times.
Okay.
Once in Brazil also, they had a program long ago. An Indian ambassador was invited. You know, they had to put the flag, India's flag, because I'm from India. And Indian flag, if you have to put there, the ambassador has to be
Yes.
there. And he gave some lame excuse and
Right.
he escaped from coming. But then the government of that country broke the protocol and said they put the flag. I said,
Right.
I would like to have the
Right.
Indian flag there. Though I feel I belong to
Yeah.
every part of the world, but still I said I would like the Indian flag to be there. So there is prejudice in home here,
Okay.
in our own place,
Right.
and there was prejudice outside.
Right.
I think it's thinning down now. The people are becoming much more intelligent,
Right.
and the information era
Yes.
has helped
Right.
a lot.
Right.
Helped a lot.
Yes.
So, in 30 years ago, how difficult it was, it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Those days, yoga or meditation means it is something people who are not normal would do. Today, in big companies,
Right.
for relaxation, they put people in meditation.
Good. Just a couple of more questions, Guruji. Now, this whole problem of competition, everybody is just getting throttled, and it's so becomes so severe. Sometimes you just feel like giving up. And I mean, even in spirituality, Guruji, there are these competitive wars that we see. Of course, not us, but we see them on the other side. How does one keep himself sane?
competition?
Yeah, how do you keep yourself sane, Guruji, in this kind of competitive behavior?
First thing is competition in the business scenario, it can keep you alert,
Nice.
help you to be more innovative too.
Right.
Number
Right.
two.
Yes.
Alertness and innovation, both these things it can bring into your life. So you should see the positive aspect of competitions.
Got it.
Every competitor can inspire you more,
Yes.
and if you take it that way,
Got it.
you will be at ease,
Okay.
and it will not dampen your enthusiasm, or else you will burn in jealousy and depression, and you do all things which are unethical,
Right.
and it's going to make you miserable.
Yeah.
So one thing we must make it sure, that nobody should take away my happiness
Nice.
or my state of peace.
Nice.
If you go with this one principle, no one can take away my enthusiasm, no one can disturb my peace. If you have this one, anchor within you, you will see everything falls in place. Okay?
Guruji, Seva, Satsang, Sadhana, we know. That's our formula you have given us for spiritual success. Any formula for the entrepreneurs to succeed out there?
I think they should keep their mind open,
Right.
and don't be too anxious about success. Know if you are putting your 100% effort,
Right.
and you are open-minded,
Yes.
and you are open to new ideas, not get stuck in some old idea and say only this will work. You never know what will work in the planet. If you go with this acceptance,
Wow.
I feel things would get better, and definitely people should meditate
Nice. Right.
twice a day, if not twice, at least once a day.
Twice a day. Guruji.
Twice a day is must. I would rather recommend even thrice, because during meals time,
Okay.
everyone should meditate with their whole group.
Okay. Right.
Meals and meditation.
Okay.
If they do together in companies, and
Sure.
you'll find the whole atmosphere becomes more humane.
Nice.
And when there is humane atmosphere, there is nothing you cannot do.
Great. Guruji, thank you so much. You teach us art of living, but you have taught us the art of winning today. Right? Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.